Good evening, Middletown, and welcome to our virtual kindergarten orientation meeting. I first want to apologize for our technical difficulties last night, and so we're happy that you joined us tonight. I am Cindy Wilson, supervisor at preschool to 5, and I'm joined with Tara Responti, principal of Bayview School, Tara Garzone, who's the supervisor for special education grades pre-K to 5. We have Sue Calabro, who is our data systems manager. Fran Taylor is our district head nurse, and Jessica Whitsons is a representative from Whitsons. And we have Chris Rotolo, who's in the background, conducting our Zoom meeting for us. So welcome. And this will be recorded. So if you have a friend or neighbor who missed the opportunity to sit in with us tonight, it will be available on the district website. So thank you for taking the time tonight. We have a brief presentation. Whether this is your first child coming off to kindergarten or your final child coming off to kindergarten, it is an exciting time for all of us as parents. So this would be the class of 2037, which is almost hard to say out loud, but it will be here before you know it. So enjoy the time with your littles.
Hello. Oh, go ahead, Cindy.
Go ahead, Tara, go.
Hi, everyone. I am going to introduce the building principals and supervisors that some of you will become very close with. First and foremost, I'm actually, it's ABC order, but Bayview Elementary School. I am Miss Tara Responti. I am the principal at Bayview. Fairview Elementary School is Mr. Michael Milando. Yeah. Harmony Elementary School's principal is Mr. Eric Paulson. Leonardo Elementary's principal is Mr. Pete Smith. Lincroft Elementary is Mr. Brian Dorgan. Middletown Village Elementary is Mrs. Maureen McCormick. Navesink Elementary is Mr. Jesse Herbert. New Monmouth Elementary School's principal is Mr. Matt Ferry. Nut Swamp Elementary is Mrs. Carrie Albanese. Ocean Avenue Elementary principal is Mr. Neil Leone. River Plaza Elementary, Mr. David Whitman. And we have curriculum supervisor for Lincroft, Nut Swamp, and River Plaza is Mrs. Angela Merrow. Curriculum supervisor for Fairview Harmony, Middle Village, and Ocean is Miss Cindy Wilson. And curriculum supervisor for Bayview, Leonardo, Navesink, and New Monmouth School is Mr. Dan Imbimbo. Okay, our next slide. So tonight's presentation will provide you with information on the following valuable resources, what to expect in kindergarten. Miss Cindy Wilson and I will lead the way on that. Jessica Ritz from Whitsons will tell us about the school lunch program. Student Services with Miss Tara Garzone, Supervisor of Special Education. School Health Services from Fran Taylor, our head nurse. Online registration process from Susan Calabro, and also parent portal and report cards from Susan Calabro, our data systems manager. All right, Miss Cindy, you're up.
Okay, so parents, I'm sure you're anxious, and what do our kinders need to know to be ready for school in September? And there are just some items I want to run through. So in this spring, you will receive information from your neighborhood elementary school, providing you with an easy case screening information and an opportunity for you to make an appointment. Actually, you should receive that after you've completed your registration with a link for you to sign up. And it just really gives us a baseline of how your child is doing. It's not a test. It doesn't count towards anything. It just gives us an idea and baseline data to have on your child. We always want to just tell you to read to your child. Make a habit of it and make it fun. Einstein once said, if you want brilliant children, read. If you want more brilliant children, read fairy tales. So there's math all around us. So people say, well, what do they need? There's counting and patterns, and there's everyday applications for math, patterns, shapes, sizes. We really encourage students to learn their phone numbers in this day and age of technology. We're also, our numbers are geared into our phones, and our students don't know our numbers. And it's really important that each child know at least one family member's phone number. I think one of the most important things we can give our kinders entering school is those self-help and independent skills. That's where they need to really step up to the plate because now they're one of many children and they need to be able to get their coats on and off, open their lunch pails, get out their snacks, their toileting skills, coats zipping on and off. And although these things seem like simple things, they are going to be tasked with those self-help and independent skills and attention to task. So really kind of working on those skills. Um, in the kindergarten environment, they do offer a supportive schedule and consistent daily routine. And routines are important for kids because they need to know what's coming next. And in the classrooms, it's easy for us to do that because we have timelines. So at home, it's a little more challenging to stick to a daily routine, but it really is critical. Those bedtime routines, it just to whether they're taking a bath, brushing their teeth, hearing a story, and getting ready for bed, it's really important for them to have some consistency. I can't stress enough the importance of eating together as a family, whatever that family unit may look like. It's a kind of time to come together and expand on their language, talk about their day, see how they're feeling, and do some check-ins. Their language is bursting from birth to kindergarten through age 8, and you really need to help develop those literary skills by telling them stories, labeling items, exploring sounds, rhythm, chants, rhyme, repetition. So there is so much we do on a daily basis that we take for granted with our kids. But if you're at the shopping cart, you might give them a little list, draw apples, how many apples, draw pears, whatever it is, but just engage them in everyday conversation. And we're so connected that we're disconnected. So we really need to reconnect with our kids and have genuine conversations with them and be available to them. That brings us to playing games that promotes winning and losing and taking turns. And we really need to develop those executive functions in our skills. That losing is how you learn. So use those opportunities for teachable moments. Play every day and please limit the screen time. I can't tell you, I see so many littles on screens, and I am really concerned as an educator that has a lot of wisdom and experience that what is the vision impacted by all that close-up work that our young children are doing. So pay attention to that. Practice tracing, cutting, using their fine motor skills, buttoning, unbuttoning, zipping. So all those great things are getting your kids ready for kindergarten. General school information. So our school hours are 8:55 to 3:05. Drop-off begins at 8:40. Dismissal begins at 3:05. It's a little different for each school in terms of how that procedures happen, but you will learn all about that. Early dismissal time is 1:10. We do have the Y before and after school care at 7 o'clock in the morning, and it goes till 6 o'clock. Again, that information is on the website. We hold parent-teacher conferences early in December, but if you have a concern, reach out to your child's teacher prior to that. School lunches are served each day, and students can either bring a lunch, and Ms. Ritz will talk more about that, and students are issued an ID number. So next slide, Chris.
Okay, so this is a sample kindergarten schedule. There is a lot of movement involved in learning in kindergarten. So our day looks somewhat like interventions and integrated centers. We have literacy with reading and writing, science and social studies. All of our kinders get a snack during the day, recess, and they will break for lunch. Depending on the school, lunch can take place within the classroom or in our all-purpose room. And kinders also have an opportunity to bring lunch or order lunch. Kinders will be exposed to an investigations mathematics program, and every kinder will go to health, phys ed, Spanish, art, music, and digital learning within that school year. All right. Jessica Ritz, you're up with food service program.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Just a brief information. All schools serve breakfast and lunch every day. So our paid breakfast and lunch prices are listed on this slide. Free and reduced meal applications are available on the food service section of the Middletown website. So pretty much any information you need about the food service program, if you go to middletownk12.org and click food services, you'll see our menus, the applications, allergy information, and anything else that you might be looking for. During the regular school day, the daily lunch options include 2 daily hot specials. There's a weekly cold special. And then every day there's always a bagel lunch, a cereal lunch, a muffin lunch, hot and cold vegetables, just a good variety for the kids to pick from. What we tell most parents to do is sit and look at the menu with their kids and maybe pick out some lunches that they'd like to have. So when the kids come through the lunch line, they know what they're getting that day. And they come through, they order their meal, they put in their number, and then their account comes up. If they don't know their number, we're able to look them up by name, and we just try to encourage them to learn their number throughout the year. And parents can use the, there's a website, myschoolbucks.com, where they can go online and deposit money, or they can also send a check into the school. So there's different options to pay so that the students have money on their account. And so like I said, our menus are on the food service section. And then if anyone has allergy concerns about their students, they can go to this other website, fdmealplanner.com. And that posts our menus every month, and it shows you all the allergy information for all the meals. But if you have any specific questions, if you have a special need that you're looking for, you can always email me. And I'm the best point of contact for anything food related. So hopefully your kids will eat with us.
Jess, there's a next slide that talks about school bucks.
Oh, great. Yep. So that's it. So that's where you can go online and deposit the money, which is the easiest way. Most parents like to do that. But like I said, we do accept money in the cafeteria too, if necessary. Thank you.
Thanks, Jess. Next up, we have Tara Garzone. Go ahead, Tara.
Thanks, Ms. Responti. So my name is Tara Garzone, and I am one of the elementary supervisors there of special education. So I oversee pre-K through grade 5. And there also is another supervisor of special education, that is Miss Danielle Schreck. So I oversee 5 of our elementary schools, and Miss Schreck oversees the remaining 6 elementary schools in regards to special education. Our district director of student services is Dr. Michelle Tiedemann. Next slide, please. So earlier in the presentation, Ms. Wilson discussed the importance of preparing your kindergarten children and providing suggestions on ways to do so. And Ms. Responti also shared information about what you could expect in terms of the classroom schedule. So being prepared, or maybe not being prepared enough, or following a schedule and making transitions throughout the day may be easier for some of your children than it is for some of the others. So I make reference to both of these examples because your children will indeed learn in kindergarten. However, it's the way in which they learn that might be different than some of the other peers. At home, you may see one thing through your lens. You may see your child one way, and then at school, the teachers and staff members may see something completely different, and that's okay. So along with positive and frequent homeschool communication, we have countless resources within the special education department to support different or unique learning styles of all children. So our district schools have layers of, or a continuum of services and support that are available for students should they require it. Whether you have other children that may have received support in any of our schools, or whether this is your first child to attend kindergarten, it is important to know what supports are available. And if questions or concern about your child and their education come up, you know exactly what you need to look for. It is the expectation that we're always providing the opportunity for students to learn in their least restrictive environment, which is the general education classroom with like-aged peers. And in order of least restrictive to more or even most restrictive environments, we do offer the following. General education is where all of our kindergarten students pretty much start, give or take, if they have a specialized program coming into our kindergarten. When we are in a general education classroom, you always have access to a school counselor. At the elementary level, we refer to them as our social behavior support specialists, or SBSSs. So I put these acronyms and abbreviations in here because that's what they are most often referred to. We also have reading development teachers, or an RDT, or a math specialist, who also provide assistance to students. We, using those supports of our counselor, the social behavior support specialist, our reading development teacher, and the math specialist, we provide multi-tiered systems of support, or tiered intervention. They go hand in hand together. Tier 1 intervention is supported by the classroom teacher in the classroom, individualized instruction that meets the child's need. And then tier 2 intervention would be additional support by the reading specialist or the math specialist, in addition to that tier 1 support that the classroom teacher is providing. And then should there be additional support needed, we also offer tier 3 intervention, which would just be another layer of support or increased in time with the reading development teacher or the math specialist, in addition, again, to that tier 1 support provided by the classroom teacher. All of this happens through what we call intervention and referral services, which is also another acronym is INRS. So I like to share these because I know sometimes it can be overwhelming and confusing. So you will be able to reference this presentation and go back if you should have any further questions. We also service students with 504 plans, which are accommodations to the way in which that students may need to learn, as well as speech services. So that's what we offer underneath the general education umbrella in terms of least restricted environment. And then, of course, if additional services are needed, there's our special education umbrella, which consists of our child study team, which is CST, and that consists of case managers who may be a social worker, a school social worker, a school psychologist, or a learning, an LDTC, which is a learning consultant. So there's a whole nother process that you would go through for special education using those members of our child study team. And if the need presents itself and a student requires additional support and services, that would be done so through an individualized educational program, which is known as an IEP. From there, they decide if there is additional needs for further resources or supports, which could be in-class resource or in-class support, with the support of a special education teacher in the classroom, and or related services, which may be speech, occupational therapy, or physical therapy. So I know I made reference to a lot of different abbreviations and acronyms of the resources that we have available within our continuum of services. But again, it can be a lot and it can be very overwhelming. So if you hear teachers or other staff members have if you hear them talking about it or have a discussion with you regarding any of these supports that your child may need, whether it be social, emotional, behavioral, academic support, you'll know exactly what they're referring to. So that's all I have for you this evening. I wish you all the best in your kindergarten experience with your child. And I will now hand it over to Ms. Fran Taylor, who is our district head nurse, to talk about health services.
Hi, everybody. Hope you can hear me well. I'm not going to overwhelm you with a lot of information. I know that it's a lot to take in. One of the most important things, I think, is particularly if your student has any kind of health issue, is developing a relationship with your school nurse. We are all open and available to you at any time to talk about any issues that may be specific to you. So always reach out. So our system this year is a little different. We've changed to Genesis. So you will have to, under here, all of these things need to be uploaded to the system. Sue will talk about this too later, in order to complete your registration before we can move forward and the kid can get in. If you're having any difficulties with immunizations, you can certainly reach out to your school nurse, because we have a lot of resources available to us that we can, some of them can even come to the school and do it. So that's never a problem. Next slide. Oh, this is just our medication policy. So if your child is taking any kind of prescription medication, it has to be accompanied with our form signed by the doctor and a parent. The parents always have to bring a medication. Please don't ever send your child on a bus with a medication. Sometimes it happens and we get it, but it's never just don't. We do have an over-the-counter medication policy that just needs to be signed off by the parent, not the doctor, but that will all be available to you through your school nurse. This is just your basic sick day guidelines. I'm sure many of you already have students in the school district, so you know. Again, contact your school nurse if it's something you're not sure of, but pretty much anything that's contagion, we try to really limit that passing on to anybody else in the school. This is, so if for communicable illnesses, if say your child is sent home with suspected strep and you go to the doctor, you will need a note from that doctor saying the student can return to school and is no longer contagious after 24 hours being on antibiotics. All the pediatricians in the area really know that, but we do need that in order to come back into school to prevent any kind of spread in the school. Anything that needs a gym excuse, we do require. We can do 1 day for just a basic illness, but if it's going to be anything more than 1 day, we will need a doctor's order to excuse the student from PE. Same thing with any braces, casts, crutches, all of that will require a note. These are just the basic screenings we do: height and weight, blood pressure, vision screenings, hearing, scoliosis for 10 and older. Yeah. Oh, this is always a big topic. So food allergies in the school system are a big topic because the consequences can be really severe for a student who may be allergic to peanuts or milk or whatever. So there has been a big shift in celebrations in school regarding bringing non-food items. Again, that's something that each school kind of does slightly differently based upon whether or not, I don't know if they do 1 day a month for all birthday celebrations. That's something you would contact your school nurse about. Ooh, another important one. Please keep all contact information in Genesis up to date. Emergency contacts are so important because even though everybody has a cell phone nowadays, I can tell you how many times we have not been able to get in touch. I just had it last week, a really serious situation where we could not get in touch with somebody, and it kind of really complicated the situation. So it's a good idea to always at least have 2 emergency contacts in the system so that we can get a hold of somebody that you trust in case we can't get you. Oh, this is also another thing that will go out from your school. We have a lot of programs, particularly during the holidays, and wellness programs that will be offered through your school. So that's just letting you know to be aware of it. But that will come out from each building, however they choose to communicate that. But again, any questions you have, please reach out to your school nurse. We're always available for anybody.
Okay, at this time, we're going to bring on Sue Calabro, our data systems specialist. And she's just a wealth of information. Hit it, Sue. Where'd you go, Sue?
Sue, you got to unmute.
Okay, there we go. Sorry. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Just so you have some idea of what we do in my department, we take care of everything student data related, and that starts with report cards, college transcripts, everything, reporting to the state, etc., and also all important registration, which we're going to cover tonight. So as Nurse Taylor mentioned before, we do use the Genesis registration system for our registrations. Registration will be opening up on February 1st, tomorrow, and you can begin your registration process. I'd like to stress that before you start the process, please ensure that you have all your documents that are outlined on the district registration page, because you will not be able to save the registration as you go along. So you have to have everything ready to upload and be able to submit at the end. If you go to the district website at middletownk12.org, you can click on the registration link and it'll take you right to this page that you see here. And it outlines all of our documentations that are required. Next link, please. Thank you. Any supplemental documents that you have during the registration process can also be uploaded. There are links for those documents as you're going through the process that you'll see. You know, if you have an individual healthcare plan, that's very, very important that the nurses have that on file. So please upload it. If your child has been getting special education services at another school possibly, or English language learner services, please also upload those documents. Next slide. These are the proof of residency required for homeowners in the district. They're also listed on the website, so you should also review them before you start your upload process. Next slide. This is the same requirements only for renters within the district. And again, I urge that you review everything before you start the registration process. If in the event that you are not a homeowner or a renter with a valid lease in the district, you should contact our district registrar at the email listed here, which is also on our registration page. The registrar will get back to you and go through all the documentation that is required for registration. This is a sample page of what the Genesis student registration looks like. It's a very simple system, very intuitive and friendly for you to go through the registration process. However, if you are on it and you have a question, please feel free to email the registrar page and someone will get back to you. So once you are registered and all of your documentation is approved and you are vetted in the system, you will receive probably the beginning of August a registration link for the parent portal. The parent portal is your gateway to report cards, online documentation, attendance, etc. This is where you'll go for everything related to your students' learning progress. We send everything out through here. Our progress reports for special education students are electronically sent through here. So this is what it will look like when you go on to create your account. But again, you will not receive this invitation until August after all of the registrations are approved and we are ready to start school. And this is just a sample page of what it looks like on the portal when you go on. All of the tabs and the icons are over on the left-hand side. And as you click through them, you'll be able to see the documentation that relates to that link. Some of the links will be a little bit reduced for elementary because we only have report cards. We do a trimester report card. So there's only 3 report cards a year. We do not do online grading for elementary. So really the only reason that you would need to go on the portal is to look at attendance and look at the report card during the trimester. And then if you have electronic notifications for letters or anything like that. So a couple things. Our standard questions. I can answer the first one, the standards-based report card. That is a trimester report card, and it is released electronically on the parent portal. The dates that the report cards are released are always posted on the bottom of the parent portal as the date approaches. They're also on the district website in our calendars.
Okay. Thank you, Sue. So Tara and I have been doing this for several years now, and these are the frequently asked questions that parents have. And Sue already addressed the standard-based report card, and that's exactly what it is. So the standards that your child is expected to know by the end of the grade is on one document. So it's very specific in terms of what the semester is looking for children to be able to do, and it's a rubric score that they're graded on. So it really does give you more specific information as opposed to just the letter grade of an A, B, C, etc. We do practice safety and security drills twice a month. There's a fire drill and then another safety drill. When we do hold those drills, you will receive an email notification that your child practiced a drill today in alignment with the New Jersey code. The kids are very good at practicing these drills, and we don't put a lot of stress or emphasis on it, but it's done in a very delicate matter. Stu already talked about this, and so did Fran. It's really important to update your email and phone numbers. It's our main way for communication. And your email and phone blast will give you lots of relevant information that's happening in the school and the district. Birthdays are celebrated differently at each school. However, we are asking that we no longer send in cupcakes or any kind of special treats. Because school safety is our #1 priority and your child's safety is at the top. So we can't control all the allergies that students have or what's sent in from other parents. I mean, we can control it in the building because we know what we're giving students, but we can't control what's coming in from the outside. So every school has a little bit of a different celebration. Children are recognized for their birthdays. They get a pencil, maybe a card or whatever. So it's really hard when a parent shows up with cupcakes and we say, I'm sorry, you can't have them. So if you know from the beginning that's standard practice across the district, it's easier to, for us to manage. Arrival and dismissals are safe, but they are different at each building. So you will be accustomed to your school's specific procedures for what does that look like. We have 30 minutes for lunch, an option to bring lunch or buy. Most kinders eat in their classrooms, and that may look different in some schools too. There's the all-purpose room. They do get a nice 30-minute uninterrupted lunch. They have an opportunity for a daily snack break. So the teachers often ask for a dry working snack, whether that happens in the morning or in the afternoon, but there is an opportunity for a daily snack. Recess occurs daily where they have 20 minutes of uninterrupted play, either outside or inside, depending on the weather. Kindergarten orientations are set up for each school, either in late August or early September before school starts. So you'll have the opportunity to bring them in. They can meet their teacher, see their classrooms, and then you'll get the building specific details. So their only excused absences are for religious holidays and bring your child to work day. So just know that your child needs to be in school so that they can learn. And that's really what we're most interested in. Next slide, Tara, Responte, hit it.
Okay, so some more frequently asked questions. Always refer to the district website, especially to know the first day of school and any days that the kids may have off or an early dismissal. And this is always a frequently asked question about zoning. It's very hard for us to determine where you all live. Or whether you qualify for busing from where you live. So please call transportation if you have a particular zoning question to see if you qualify for busing. Safety is #1 here in Middletown, and currently we have security guards and our Class 3 officers. This is a frequently asked question, and I think it was in the Q&A. Preschool students with IEPs do not have to re-register for kindergarten. Before and after care questions can be answered through the YMCA Kids program or by calling the YMCA. That is the number listed right there. The Y is the program that does before and after care that's located at all of our elementary schools. And all curriculum information can be found right on our district website. Okay.
Mr.
So
Sponte, can you add one thing for 1 second?
Absolutely, Sue.
I'm just going to follow up on that chat question. So yes, the district has decided this year to change the earlier procedure of pre-K students that are currently attending the district in a pre-K program in our 4 pre-K schools. That doesn't include the Little Eagles and the Little Lions. It's an actual pre-K registration. You will no longer have to register for kindergarten this year. However, if your immunizations are not up to date, the building nurses will be reaching out to you upon the receipt of the processing of the child for kindergarten. So that's one thing I wanted to mention. The other thing is too, when you're uploading your documents, please make sure that your address is clear, the dates are clear, and the names match exactly. It's critical that we have the right information on file because, as Nurse Taylor said, in the event of an emergency, we have to make sure that everything matches.
Thank you, Sue. Those are definitely important points. And we know what happens in kindergarten lasts a lifetime. So we are all here to set up each and every child for success. We thank you so much for logging on tonight. And please, like Miss Cindy Wilson stated, if anyone else is interested, this will be on our website. This is recorded. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.